What's up, guys? Thought now would be a good time to give you a sneak peek, actually more of an in-depth look at inside of the shop. We call it the Shoffice here, and it's where we do all of our Classic Nation stuff and also where I work out of my day job with my brother upstairs on the loft. So come check it out. This is the main space. We've got obviously 6 cars in here right now. It was a pole barn, so we had to work with the existing poles that were in the construction, so we kind of made each little slot its own car parking spot. As you can see over here, we've got my brother's 65 Impala Super Sport, that's LS. We've got my 1953 Chevrolet pickup truck, we call that the farm truck, that's also LS. We've got my brother's 1947 Buick Roadmaster. That one's got the original Fireball straight 8 in it. Back there in the lift bay, we've got my 1949 Cadillac. That's an LT1 car. Right here, we've got my buddy's 72 Challenger. That's a 440 car. Right here is my original 1967 Mustang. That was my first car. I've had that for a long time, 20-something years. Right there is a 1949 Cadillac engine. It came with that car, but turns out it's not the right one. So I'll probably sell it and get rid of it. Come check this out. So one of the really special things about the cedar that we wrapped all these beams in and some of these posts in is it's some of the clearest cedar I've ever seen. Get a shot of up there on that beam. There's literally no knots in that. Super clear cedar. All of that actually came from one tree fairly locally that a guy had cut up and then sold to me, luckily, and we wrapped all the real visible spots with it. This piece right here that we put on the front, which was a glue lamb, that was 16 feet long by 16.5 inches deep of like 1 by super clear cedar, and I just love the way that it turned out. The wood in here, I think, plays real nicely with some of the stuff that's black, the polished concrete, some of the stuff that's the white sheetrock, and the accent over there on the painted black wall. Come check this out. This wood is all reclaimed wood. Part of it, the stuff that's a little bit darker, is from my buddy's 100-plus-year-old garage in town here, and he layered that in with some of this old wood that was from my dad's house. My dad cut this down from his property where I grew up. My brother and I grew up there. This was probably cut down 35 years ago, between 35 and 40 years ago, and he's moved it from wood pile to wood pile to wood pile over the years, and so he had some extra of it, and I snagged as much as I could to not only weave in through this whole main floor wood with some of that other garage reclaimed wood, but up there where the TV is and on the loft, that's all wood from my dad's house that I've probably had hands on since I was a 5-year-old with my brother. We added this really cool 4-inch table here, put in the epoxy resin top, so it's a really good multi-purpose table that can go from a social space to a little bit of a tool or part workspace. The trick was here, we did some really cool trick brackets. My buddy helped me out. We fashioned these up so they're super low profile, and you can remove the table and take it out of the way so you can get cars back and forth between here really easily. So I really like the way this turned out. Got a bunch of chairs here for if you got friends over or a helping hand when you're doing any kind of car projects here over on the automotive lift. This is the tool area. A lot of people mistake this at first look for a kitchen, but it's not really a kitchen, except for there is a beer fridge here, so we needed that. And then we've got the big L-shaped workbench over here. Got the bamboo worktops and more steel cabinets, uppers and lowers. Here's a handy dandy chair. These are Viper chairs, really cool aluminum chair, kind of a high-end shop chair. I love these things. Of course, you gotta have the Classic Nation logo on it. So yeah, that's this space here. If you come check out right over here, you'll see we've got the air hose reel hooked up, fashioned up a little things here, so this is always easy to get to. We've got the air compressor actually in a different add-on base, so it always stays super quiet even when you're working with air tools in here, which is nice. Check out this lift here. This is a Mohawk lift, a 2-post lift, and it's got these really cool things on the other side here that are called wheel adapters. And so we've got 4 of them. You can see 2 are on and we've got 2 off. That makes it so you can turn this really quickly into kind of a storage lift with 4 wheel adapters. If you want to lift a vehicle up by the wheels, you could leave it up there for a year if you wanted to. It has the benefits of a 4-post lift, and you can easily convert it to a regular frame frame point lift, just like a standard one if you're actually working on the suspension, say on the front, which is what we were doing here. One thing we did here, because I don't really like extension cords getting draped or hung around here, and so like we actually cut up the original concrete floor and plumbed in the electrical to come up right alongside of the lift here. So this is the only extension cord. You plug the lift in right there, done deal. And matter of fact, it's a 2-post lift that we actually ran the hydraulic line underneath the floor. We put in a new, I think 12-inch concrete pad here that's reinforced with rebar to really make this strong, and then buried that line underneath. So there's no connecting hydraulic at the top. There's nothing to make any bumps on the bottom. It's all smooth concrete, polished, and it turns out nice, and I really love this lift. Check this out. We've had to add a bathroom to the shop, right? No shop is complete without a bathroom, but this one we've kind of done fairly nice with a shower, and we put in a urinal. I've always wanted to have a urinal in my own shop, so finished that out. Just some basic specs about the shop here. It's a 50 by 50 footprint that you're looking at right here. Through that door, we've got another 12 by 50 area, which is where I have an RV, and it's kind of the dirty shop bay. Gonna have workbenches out there with grinders and sanders and bench vices, and that's where we do a lot of the dirty stuff. And this is, we kind of keep it a little bit cleaner, more like a showroom. And our office, again, is upstairs, so come check this out. My buddy Tim did all these rails. These are steel rails, really cool cabling, custom fab. This is all one piece. It's not modular. You don't bolt this in. It's a single piece, and I just love the way it looks. Got the little lounge area right here. Got the TV with the Sonos bar over there. We've got the 2 desks here with the computers. We've got a really cool view here. Faces west. We're out here in Washington State, so there's lots of snow and stuff right now, but I wanted to get really good view, and I wanted to also take advantage of, in the summertime, what this is, fresh air. So we've got more rail right here that matches the other rail. And this isn't a deck or anything, but it's kind of a little balcony, so we can always get first eye view of what it is. You're looking west right now over the Peone Prairie. And so really cool spot, love the view. It's a fantastic spot to put in time and work. So yeah, that's that. Let's see here. If you look up, we've got a whole bunch of like cedar wrapped beams. These are all custom fabbed metal bracketry that my buddy made for me, same guy who did the rails. We did this aircraft cable that's like super high tensile strength because we got re-engineered trusses. Those are normally just regular 2x6 trusses that we wrapped and made chunky with the black paint over the actual wrapped trusses, but we took those out here because we needed the headroom. The ceiling height, if it's straight across, would have been right around 16 feet, and so we basically had to compromise with the ceiling height downstairs to get this, and so had to re-engineer the trusses so it had that kind of a loft feel up here, which I think we accomplished, and I love it. Let's see, over here on this little mezzanine, there's a pull down like attic access ladder that you get to from down there in front of the Buick. That's where all the HVAC stuff is stored. So we've got, you know, standard full heating and cooling in this place. It gets warm and it gets cold, so we've got it really nice temperature controlled, which works really well. And yeah, this is just a really cool spot to be. You can see from up here the vantage point of the vehicles we have in here. It's a motivating space to do work and to put in time, and the shop turns out, you know, as good as I could have hoped. It's certainly a dream shop, and thanks for letting me share it with you all.